What happens when a voice that shaped generations speaks to a leader who is shaping the future? What happens when wisdom forged in the fire of fame reaches out, not with applause, but with purpose? Today we bring you something rare, something powerful. A letter from one of the world's most legendary icons, Amitabh Bachchan, to one of Africa's rising symbols of courage and transformation, Ibrahim Traore. In his letter he wrote, "Dear Ibrahim Traore, warm greetings from India. I hope this letter finds you in strong health, steady purpose, and renewed spirit. Permit me to begin not with a grand declaration, but with something simple, gratitude. Gratitude for your courage, gratitude for your presence, and most of all, gratitude for your decision to rise when it would have been easier to remain seated. I write to you not as an actor, not as a celebrity whose face flickers on screens, but as a man who has walked through the many fires of failure, fame, and time. And as someone who now watches the horizon and sees, among its shadows, a young man in uniform standing tall, not with pride in power, but with devotion to people. That man is you. Ibrahim, your name has reached distant corners of the world, not because of what you have seized, but because of what you have stood for. And perhaps, without knowing it, you have ignited a flame not just in the hearts of Burkina Faso youth, but in millions around the globe who had begun to forget that leadership could still be born of service and not self-interest. You stand at a place where history watches closely and whispers gently, "Will he endure?" And I believe the answer, with all my heart, is yes. Because you were not born in a palace but among people, because your dreams were not carved in stone halls, but in soil, in sacrifice, and in silence. I know something of silence. In my own early years, I knew rejection like an old companion. Studio gates remained closed. My voice, deep and heavy, was once considered unsuitable for radio. My name was unfamiliar. My face was forgettable. And yet, I held on to a thought, as a drowning man might hold on to driftwood. There must be something more. And I see that same something in you. You walk through storms. You carry not This, Ibrahim, is the mark of a man not merely chosen by history, but sculpted by it. Your youth is not your burden. It is your weapon. Never let them tell you otherwise. The world has always tried to define power by age, by title, by inherited privilege. But time and again, it is the young, the daring, the dreamers who have redrawn the maps of destiny. And you have begun to redraw one of your own. But the path you walk is steep. And I would be dishonest if I did not warn you. It will only get steeper. There will be days when you will feel surrounded, days when betrayal may wear familiar faces, days when your own people, wearied by hardship, may lose patience, not out of malice, but out of pain. On those days, you must return to your center. You must remember the boy who first whispered to himself, "There has to be another way." Return to him. He is your compass. In India, we have a proverb that says, "A tree laden with fruit bows low." In other words, true greatness is humble, and that is what I sense in you. I do not know your entire story, but I do know this. A man does not rise as you have unless he has first kneeled to something greater than himself, be it faith or duty or love for his people. Your people will not always understand every decision. That is the truth of leadership, but they will understand your heart. And as long as you speak from that place of truth, you will never truly be alone. There are moments in life that do not announce themselves as defining. They arrive like whispers, like dust on the wind. But those are the moments that shape us. I remember sitting in dimly lit rooms after the loss of a loved one. I remember facing audiences that booed, scripts that failed, friends who faded with the lights, and still I pressed on. Not because I knew success would come, but because I believed that meaning would. And today, in you, I see meaning in motion. I see a young man rising not because of what he wants to take, but because of what he wants to give. Let me tell you something, Ibrahim. The world will throw stones, but remember, cathedrals are built with stones. You can either be buried beneath them or build something immortal with them. I do not speak these words as poetry. I speak them as someone who has watched how the world turns, how it celebrates your ascent and scrutinizes your survival. But I believe you were built not just for the climb, but for the summit. And when you reach it, bring others with you. Empower those who have never stood in the light. Listen to the voices that tremble before they speak. Honor the elders not with words but with action. Create space where there was none, and build not just monuments but movements. You, Ibrahim, are a symbol now, and symbols must shine not for themselves, but for what they represent. You are becoming a chapter in a much older story, a story of people who have long been underestimated, overlooked, and unheard.
A continent rich not only in minerals, but in soul, in song, in strength. Africa is not waiting to be saved. It is waiting to be seen. And in you, it is being seen boldly, brilliantly. Let the world take note. But above all, let you remain unchanged. Guard your heart. Guard your vision. Let advisors come and go. Let praise rise and fall. But never forget who you are when you close your eyes at night. That man, the one behind the medals, the speeches, the marches, is your truest guide. And if ever that man doubts himself, let him remember this. You were not born for comfort. You were not made to fit in. You were created to shift the course of nations, and that is not a destiny everyone can carry. Yet here you are, walking through fire not to boast, but to blaze a trail. Ibrahim, when the night feels cold and long, look up. The same stars that watched over our ancestors still shine above you. And somewhere across the ocean, in the heart of an aging actor, one of those stars bears a silent prayer for your courage, for your clarity, for your continuation. I believe in you, not as an idea, but as a living legacy, a breathing hope, a human reminder that leadership can still look like service, and that strength can still wear the face of compassion. When your name is spoken decades from now, may it echo not in fear, but in reverence. May schoolchildren learn not just what you did, but why. May elders bless your memory not just for leading, but for lifting, and may you, through all the years and trials ahead, and stay true to the child who first asked, "What can I do for my people?" For that question asked from the soul has changed the world more than any crown or conquest ever could. So I end this letter with no fanfare, no final flourish, just one request. Keep going, keep dreaming, keep building, keep believing. The world is not just watching. The world is hoping, and I, a son of another soil, stand with you, not as an icon, but as a fellow man whose heart beats with respect, with unshakable admiration, enduring hope, and the sincerest prayer for your journey ahead. Amitabh Bachchan, Mumbai, India, June 12, 2025.